For this video I'm starting a new book called A Different Sort of Real, and it's another diary book. So we start with 16th of October 1918. Charlotte Mackenzie is saying, Australia is my nation, writing is my favourite game, and God is my salvation. It's my birthday and I'm writing with my very best nib and Mum's superfine ink in the blank book that Uncle Donald sent me from France. It's made of very beautiful paper and is bound in very elegant blue leather, and I love it. I asked Miss Tennant at school about writing a diary, and she said that diaries are valuable historical records. She also told me to write what I know, so I'll write about my family and myself in case someone in the future wants to know how we lived. My name is Charlotte Isabel Mackenzie and I live in Seddon with my sister Amelia, who is 12, and my other sister Lily, who is 10, and the baby Albert, who is 6. My mother is a nurse and my father doesn't do anything since he came home from the war. He just complains about everything while Mum and I do all the work. Amelia helps, but Lily is a lazy bones and Albert is too little. Besides, he's a boy. The best thing that happened today was that Mum took me into the backyard and showed me my present. She opened the door next to the shed next to the copper, which used to be full of broken furniture that Dad never got around to fixing, and there was my bed, my wardrobe, a table and a chair, and a washstand. The floor has a blue canvas covering, and there are blue curtains with daisies. My own little room. No need to share with Lily and Amelia. I was so overcome that I couldn't say a word. Mum said, "Don't you like it?" All I could do was hug her. She laughed and said that a young lady needed her own room. She told me that my best friend Florence next door had chosen the colours. Just then Florence and her big brother Alf came and brought me a blue bookcase. Alf was carrying it. It fitted beautifully across the back wall. They must have all been planning this for weeks, and I never guessed. I'd wondered why Mum had asked Mrs. Quilty to come in and do the washing on a Wednesday when I was at school instead of on a Saturday when I was home to help. She didn't want me to open the shed door by mistake and spoil the surprise. We all had cake and lemonade, and they all sang happy birthday. Then Dad said it was a waste of money, and did we think he was made of pennies, which is unfair. Mum earns most of the money, and she paid for it out of her own wages. But instead of arguing with him, Mum said that the material had cost next to nothing, and the rest of the work had been done by Alf and his friends as a present, and he needn't worry. Even that didn't please Dad, but he stamped outside to smoke his pipe and left us in peace. He wasn't like this before he went away. I remember him when I was a child. He used to play games with me and carry me on his shoulders, and he was almost never cross. Now he's cross all the time. Mum said it was a war and we mustn't mind. But I do mind. Anyway, then we all went for a walk to the Yarraville Gardens. We wore our best cotton dresses. Mine is dark with blue with daisies. Florence's is bright yellow with spots. The little girls wore white muslin. Our hats are straw with matching bands. Florence and I sat near the aviary and talked, and the children ran around. Mum got on with her mending. I gave Florence the latest war news. I can't talk about the war at home as Dad will not allow it. It looks as though it really will be over soon, I told Florence. I told Florence that the Argus thinks that it really will be over by Christmas this time. Mum said amen and let the socks she was mending drop into her lap. Florence's father is our local doctor, Dr. Barnes. She said that he had told her that the armies have la grippe, a 3-day influenza, not dangerous but very exhausting. That won't help them win the war. We had a lot of cases through the Queen Victoria Hospital in the last few months, said Mother. Charlotte caught it, remember? The rest of us were spared. Disease is not on anyone's side. We'll catch it the same as the enemy. The soldiers must be so tired and weak after so long in the mud. Poor food, terrible hygiene, constant fear. No wonder they catch things. Is that what happened to Dad? I dared to ask. I don't know what happened to him, said Mum. He's never said. He was gassed, I know that. I believe that he might have been buried when his trench collapsed. We have to be kind to him, Charlotte. I agreed. Then we went home and had a birthday tea of fish cakes made of tinned salmon and baked potatoes. A great treat. Then I took my candle and went to bed in my own little room, very happy and thankful. Now that I am writing this down, I imagine how it feels to have a ton of earth fall on you. To be buried. Still breathing, earth in your mouth, earth in your ears, blinded, deaf, terrified. I am resolved to be kind to my father. And that ends the first entry for A Different Sort of Real.